Hey team, welcome back to my channel and also welcome to my newest series. Basically, I love typography. I've been obsessed with it for years and years and years. It also runs in my family. My dad and my granddad used to do typography. I love typography. I love working with letters and glyphs and numerals and just working with typefaces and the shapes of the letters. I just am obsessed. But also I think as designers, typography is so fundamental to everything that we do, and I think that it's really important for all designers, no matter what you're doing, to have some kind of basic understanding of the rules of typography, where it came from, how we should be using it, and ways to use it in creative and fun ways. So I am kicking off this series today with just an introduction to typography. I'm just going to run you through what it actually is, so let's go. Okay, so basically typography is arranging any type of text in a way that is going to engage the reader, create a bit of interest, and make it really easy to digest for the reader. There's a massive difference between typography, type design, and hand lettering or lettering. People will often confuse these or kind of use them interchangeably, but there's actually a massive difference. So like I just said, typography is using typefaces, arranging them in some kind of composition or some kind of layout to convey information. Type design is creating those typefaces, the digital typefaces that we use for typography. So think things like Helvetica, Arial, Caslon, like fonts that we use. Those are made by type designers, font designers. So they come up with the designs for how the letters look individually, how they look together as a word, whether they're serif or sans serif, all those types of things. They focus just on the fonts themselves. And lettering is creating custom pieces of, we can call it typographic work because it's using type, but it's not typography. So typography is using already existing fonts. Lettering is creating pieces of lettered artwork. So it's creating them from scratch, but you're not creating a typeface, you're creating an artwork, just one word by itself or one sentence or one phrase that is custom and individual to that piece. And it's not going to be, that typeface is not necessarily going to be digitally created to be used over and over and over again and have a whole family. It will just be unique and used for that one piece of work or that one style of work. Three very different but also quite similar ways of working with words and letters and type, but typography is using typefaces in a composition, and a lot of typography basics and the fundamentals and foundations of typography that I'm going to talk to you about are used or should be used in lettering. So if you are a lettering designer, it's really important to know some of these basics about typography so that you can get a better understanding of how to manipulate those letters when you're drawing them or when you're creating them as artworks. So hopefully that's a good definition or rundown of what typography is. A lot of typography you'll typically see in like magazines, newspapers, books, also on web design, so you'll see typography used a lot there. The majority of typographic information you'll find out there is probably related more to print design because that's where it came from, but it is definitely very applicable if you are doing web design or any type of digital app design or social media or anything like that. So typography, like I said, is fundamental to all types of design, but those are probably the places you will find them the most. In the next video, I'm going to be talking to you about the difference between fonts and typefaces and font families and explaining that whole situation and hopefully clarifying a few things around that for you. But in the meantime, I hope that you have really enjoyed this kind of brief introduction to typography. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. It really helps, and also subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and if you're looking forward to seeing more of this series. I would also really love it if you could leave me any comments about if there's certain typographic things you want to know about, things you want to learn, things you're curious about, or any questions you might have. Please leave them in the comments below and I will try and answer them in the next video. Please look forward to the next video, which will be in 2 weeks time. I'm going to do them every fortnight, and I can't wait to see you next time. So I hope, as always, that you're being creative and productive, and I'll see you guys all next week for a new video. Bye!